the Floyd family met with Joe Biden to discuss, what were they there to discuss? I don't know. I have no idea what was the purpose. Oh, I know the purpose. Make Joe Biden look like he's competent. Make Joe Biden appear to give a damn. Is Joe Biden cared about the George Floyd Policing Act? That's not the full title of it. Justice in Policing Act and Accountability or something. He would be campaigning for it. He'd be out talking about it. He would be championing it. He's not. What's changed in America since then? Now, don't get me wrong, some things have changed. Not enough has changed, but some things have changed. Some things have been done. Half measures. When people say what has changed, we should know what has changed. Some people are very much content with just saying nothing's changed. They're half right. Seriously, you're half right. But if you want to be all the way right, hang in there with me. The Justice in Policing Act of 2020, June 2020, Democrats in Congress introduced the Justice in Policing Act of 2020, a police reform and accountability bill that contains measures to combat police misconduct, excessive force, and racial bias in policing. Advocates and lawmakers have tried to pass police reform measures in the past, and their efforts received renewed energy after the high-profile killings of Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and other African Americans by the hands of police. As you know, the bill includes several provisions which aim to improve oversight, accountability, training, and documentation while placing restrictions on techniques like chokeholds and the use of deadly force. Now, these are all in the federal level. So Justice in Policing Act, the George Floyd Law Enforcement Trust and Integrity Act. This is another bill. This is Ilhan Omar, Sheila Jackson Lee, Jerry Nadler, Jason Crow. The bill would implement national policing standards and accreditations, require agencies to share policing data with the Department of Justice, and make grants available for new programs that help departments recruit, hire, or increase oversight. It requires the Department of Justice to assemble a task force. Oh, God, a task force, Johnson. The third thing that's done on the federal level, and these haven't passed yet. So that's why I said you're half right if you said nothing's been done on the federal level, because these are not laws. Indian Qualified Immunity Act. The Indian Qualified Immunity Act is a police reform bill proposed in the U.S. House of Representatives by Justin Amash. Co-sponsored by 39 members of the House, the bill would remove the judicial doctrine of qualified immunity that protects law enforcement personnel from being held personally responsible for violating the rights of citizens. When introducing the bill, Amash said, "The brutal killing of George Floyd by Minneapolis police is merely the latest in a long line of incidents of egregious police misconduct. The pattern continues because police are legally, politically, and culturally insulated from consequences for violating the rights of people whom they have sworn to serve. That must change so that these incidents of brutality stop happening." Now this, on the federal level, the only president in the last 5 years to do an executive order regarding police reform is Donald Trump. See, y'all gonna have to excuse me when I say Joe Biden is full of it. I'm trying to watch my language a little because I heard that's part of the reason I have so much problems on YouTube. So every once in a while, I'm going to tone it down. But no one said I can't raise the volume, because when I say both parties suck Johnson, I notice there are people now, there's more, I don't know, like I'm multiplying. People coming out, they're kind of talking like me a little. They're kind of looking like me and they're talking like me. Pay homage. Don't just look for help. Pay homage. I created this lane. When I say Joe Biden does not deserve ass-kissing, praise, applause, I mean that shit. Oh. How you gonna have George family come up to the White House? How Al Sharpton gonna take pictures with him? Nancy Pelosi just taking pictures with him. George Floyd sacrificed his life to get, I know his whole family was just like, oh, lady oughta take your kente cloth and burn it. George Floyd wanted to live his life. But how dare they do this photo op nonsense when Trump is the only president in the last 5 years? And I'm saying it because I don't know, did Obama do something about police reform? I don't think he did, Johnson. Executive order on safe policing for safe communities. Now, I'm sure what Trump did was not great. But see, I didn't look for this. I did a search for things that have changed since George Floyd. And lo and behold, there's a list of things on the federal and state level. I didn't even know this was going to be there. On the federal level, there's only 4 things. 3 of those things are not laws or executive orders, they're just bills. The 4th thing on this list on the federal level that's been done since the murder of George Floyd, that everyone wants to say, oh, it's so amazing what they've done. It's amazing. George Floyd has changed America. My goodness gracious, we are now going to make a turn to the better. This is what's going on. We are on the road to redemption as a community, as a country. We're going to be better. Our policing is going to get straight. We're going to have better policing done, less deaths, less black people getting racially profiled and shot. President Donald Trump signed an executive order on safe policing for safe communities, which calls for independent credentialed bodies certified by the U.S. State's Attorney General and provides financial incentives for departments which work to attain those credentials. The credentials would be based on criteria set by the Attorney General. It should include a ban on chokeholds, except in those situations where the use of deadly force is allowed by law. See, this is bullshit. It doesn't sound that helpful. See, we had these people that defend the Democratic Party to the peril of black people. And I'm talking about black people that defend it. They defend, we got black people, very popular. Everyone wants to go on their shows. A lot of people do go on their shows. A lot of people watch them. A lot of people work with them. And you know, hey, who am I to tell you where to go, what to do, what not to do, okay? I'm not saying that. But some of these people defend the Democrats, and by doing so, they throw us under the bus. But they have the veneer that they're championing for black people. How are you championing for black people if you're defending the party that's in power that can make the changes that help black people? You're defending them from criticism, and you're not telling the truth about what they're doing. Every, and I mean every entity that came on TV today, every entity that came on TV today that did not expose this shit, who instead chose to take the high road, which ain't nothing but lie road, They should be exposed. But see what people's minds really are. See what they're really about. Tim Black, TB, the Wolfpack, all these Johnsons, we're legit. We are legit. I know what, I don't have a problem with people now wanting to use the term defund the police. It's a hard sell. We're trying to get shit done. All I care about is the result. And the result is less money going into the pockets of police departments to be used to police. And more money being diverted to other means of making life better for people in those communities. Having less police as we traditionally know it, and having more mental health professionals, therapists. I think there's so much more that needs to be done. But I think it's simplistic as hell and lazy as hell to just say we should just go with, that we need to fight over a term. What I want to fight about is the outcome. Hey, I don't know if people realize this or not. I don't know where people been, but there are a lot of people. Until George Floyd, they really didn't pay much attention to us talking about police brutality. I know it's crazy, right? It's true. Take it from somebody who has the most diverse show in this political space, in this particular space that I'm in. There are people that was like, really? Not tuned into this shit. Not because they're awful people who want to see all black people die. That's not it. It's real reductive of us to think that way. Some people just don't pay attention to other people. Some people just don't. I can't say I know what's up with the Filipino community. People live in their own bubbles, man. If they don't live around black people, they don't have close relationships with black people, they may not know a lot of shit. And then it's negative and it's sad and it causes anxiety to talk about. And when they do talk about race, they usually do it in a clumsy way and they get their head bitten off. So what I'm saying is a lot of people have been, that's one thing I would say about the George Floyd situation, and this is a travesty. But that video footage, that sister Darnella, but that footage, that's what did it. Because people saw that footage, man. And this wasn't oh my God, look at this random thing that happens very quickly, and you could kind of like give a cop a benefit of the doubt. Derek Chauvin is the poster child of all things wrong with law enforcement. This mofo he is the epitome of white supremacy, of what it does to black folks. He's the perfect symbol. They all saw it. Only the hardest, racist, detached weirdo could be like, no, he was okay. What he did was fine. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really see what the Democrats have done about this. I mean, the film did it, not the Democrats. There are a lot of things that happened here. In a lot of states, there's some things that happen. On the state level, there are things, Arkansas. They signed an executive order to create a police task force to deal with police training, certification, and standards. This is bullshit. They want to study. I hate studies. Like HR 40. We can't get a date on the bill, a vote on the bill to study some shit. That's this. Arkansas is garbage. California did remove funding for some of their police. New police crowd control procedures for state banning the police use of carotid chokeholds. They got 9 key reforms they're trying to get done. Banning the use of chokeholds, requiring officers to de-escalate situations, give verbal warning before using force. That would have saved Ma'Khia Bryant's life, maybe. If the officer would have said, hey, I'm going to shoot you. It tends to chill people out. Instead of, bow. Berkeley, California, they banned the use of tear gas. They're attributing all of these changes to George Floyd's death. Los Angeles, they cut $150 million, that's it, from the Los Angeles Police Department budget. A reversal of his planned increase of $120 million. Garcetti announced the funds will be redirected to community initiatives. Denver. The department, new reporting requirements. Whenever a police officer points a gun at a person, now they got to report just pointing the gun. Not shooting the gun, but even if you pull it out. The department would also require SWAT teams to activate body cameras during tactical operations. What? That's not a requirement already? Why have a body camera if they don't have to wear it? There's a lot. There's a lot here, guys. I know. Atlanta. Let's go to Atlanta. On June 15, Keisha Lance Bottoms announced a series of administrative orders of police reform, including requirements for reported deadly force and for training and use of de-escalation techniques. Yeah, I'm not really that excited about this shit. It seems like every state did as little as humanly possible. I wish I had more to tell you. I wish I could say, ooh, look what they did. And then, look, see, I'm one of these people who would love to be wrong about this. I want so badly to be wrong. I do. Repeat after me. They don't care about us. They don't care about us. They don't give a flamingo. Wish I had more to give you on this. I don't. I would gladly eat crow here and say, oh my God, the Democrats are really killing it. They're doing great. They're amazing. They exceeded expectations. They're doing so much. But I'm not going to lie to my audience. That would not be wrong. That would be a freaking lie. Okay? Sometimes I'm wrong, but I'm not going to lie and tell you shit's better than it is. It's not good at all. I know they did a couple things with banning the no-knock warrants. You know, like those things are good. That was Breonna Taylor, though, wasn't it? Rest her soul. Louisville. That's it. The Breonna's law to ban the use of no-knock warrants, requiring police to turn on their body cameras before carrying out a search. The law is named after Breonna Taylor, who was killed during a no-knock search by police in Louisville on March 2020. So, it's a slap in the face. It's all a big slap in the face. What we have to do, Johnson, is we must continue to push Biden every way possible. Every way possible. I really like the way Nina Turner has framed this on her website. Her police reform is framed very nicely. I think what I want people to try to understand is that you and I, we get it. You know what I'm saying? You and I get it. The language, we don't give a shit about the language. It's the outcome. But when you're trying to reach people who don't share your views 100% of the way, sometimes you have to use certain language that doesn't trigger them to run. So if at the end of the day, we're still trying to achieve the same thing, and if you don't believe that, then that's a whole nother conversation where you just don't believe a person. You just have no trust in them. But I believe there's certain ways you have to phrase things for some of these blue dog situations where people are more comfortable with other ways of expressing policy. But I think at the end of the day, as long as the policy that you want to get done gets done what we need done, I'm with it. Because I understand when you're talking to people, sometimes certain words trigger them. We need advocates. We need advocates. I think it's, and I know that Hillary Clinton, she took the mothers of slain children, black mothers of slave children on a campaign trail with her. I thought that was despicable as well. I do hear people say that the Floyd family came for a good reason. My contention, guys, I'm sticking with it, is if people were really serious, when I mean people, I mean like Joe Biden, Kamala Harris. I haven't heard Kamala Harris on this shit. Where's she at? Where's Kamala? There are people that said they only voted for Joe Biden because of Kamala. Where's she at? Oh, you're surprised that the former Attorney General of California, who locked up more black people than slavery, who kept people in jail in order to get free labor out of them, or very reduced labor at, 20 cents an hour, some crazy number? Huh? Even when evidence was compromised, she didn't want to throw those cases out, mess up her stats. The one that laughed when we talked about build more schools, less prisons, made a joke, mocked it. You're surprised that she's not out leading the charge for police reform? Why aren't they asking where it's Kamala? Like, all these people, all they did was champion for Kamala and Joe Biden, and to tell the world that people like me were just rabble rousers. What that guy say? You don't listen. Tim Black doesn't listen. All he does is complain. You should be complaining right now. If you're not complaining right now, if you're not angry right now, if you do this job, or if you're not angry right now and you know what's going on, you're not angry about it, I mean, come on. You sold these people a bill of goods. You should be livid. Livid. You should be angry as hell. You should be breaking stuff. That's what you should be doing. They lied to you. I'm not going to do anything for black people. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm going to do something special for black people. No. Oh, no. I'm not going to do that. Oh, no. I'm not going to do that. No. Remember that? If you don't vote for Joe Biden, you ain't black. Remember that? If they don't get this police reform done, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris ain't out there pushing for it to get done, if he ain't willing to deal behind the scenes, making phone calls, cutting deals like he said he would do, Joe Biden does a lot of kissing the ass of Republicans trying to get bipartisan or whatever the hell. We got goofy-ass Tim Scott working on this legislation. Who invited him? Why do you need him? Joe Biden should be leaning on these fuckers to get this legislation done. He don't want it done, Johnson. Jim Clyburn and Joe Biden are very happy with not having qualified immunity reformed. All right, that's it. Go to campaign. Go to campaign to endqualifiedimmunity.org. I'm a supporter of it. I'm on the website. All right, guys, that's it. I'm getting long-winded. I'm pissed. What I don't like is, see, I know what it is, man. Like, I've been hearing a lot of talk about a lot of people online. This is just a side note. That's all. I hear a lot of talk about people they're really dogging out the Democrats. Here's the thing, man. The solution ain't Republicans. I'm down for dogging out Democrats. But these dummies, these airheads, are talking as if the solution is to big up the Republicans. That ain't the solution, dummies. You thought the George Floyd Policing Act, and I know I'm truncating it, has no teeth. You should see what Tim Scott's bill was like, the one he introduced. He was crying the Democrats didn't want to get done. It had nothing in it. It was basically a marriage proposal to the cops. Okay, so as bad as that bill is, realize they don't even want to give us that much. You know what I'm saying? It's like making minimum wage and they got to pay you minimum wage and they're mad about that. They're like, oh man, I got to pay this guy. Do I really got to pay you? Here goes half. That's what this bill is. And it's so bad, it's so sad. Unfortunately, this is the only country we live in. I saw a report by The Economist that said things are worse. And that's what I was thinking was going to happen. You think cops like other cops getting checked? No. According to our interactive poll tracker, just 1 in 10 adults think relations have improved between police and minorities since George Floyd was killed by a Minneapolis police officer last May. You think cops are jumping up and down? Yay, Derek Chauvin got convicted. No, maybe only the good ones. Police and civilian relations are worse. Well, particularly black civilian relationships with the police is worse. Okay? Okay. Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe.